Welcome back to Grow Joyfully Home and Garden Tour Saturday with your host, Grandma Sandy, your co-hosts, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Growing on Vancouver Island. This is an open collaboration that anyone can join. Just use the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday. I've started my Garden Tour Saturday video on Friday. I was at my son's house for 4 days babysitting 3 cute little girls while they were able to get out of town for a little while. So I never got to see my garden, be around my garden. So here I am back in my garden. And believe it or not, it's raining today. And we really need the rain. This is June 26th, I think. And it's starting to get hot and dry already. But I'm so excited that this raspberry patch is really doing well this year. That's why I wanted to start my Garden Tour Saturday video on Friday to show you how my raspberries are doing. I think they look amazing. So I'm going to start picking, and then what I do is I make sure that they're clean, but I don't like to wash them because it makes them so soggy. And since we don't use any pesticides or any chemicals on them, for the most part they are clean. We just blow them off a little bit. Then I put them on a cookie sheet and flash freeze them in the freezer. And then I put them in sandwich baggies once they're all frozen. So that is what I'm doing right now. Getting a little damp out here. The temperature feels good. It's such a relief after yesterday. It was so hot. The extremes are quite baffling and difficult on the body, I think. So here I go. I'm going to get busy and pick all of these raspberries that I can. Welcome to the channel. Hello again. This is Saturday morning for Garden Tour Saturday. I already did the welcome yesterday for Garden Tour Saturday, and I told you about our hosts and hostesses, Grandma Sandy, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Growing on Vancouver Island. Well, I thought I was going to come out today because it was so bright and sunshiny and lovely, and yesterday afternoon, actually probably the evening, it was sunshiny and just perfect. But I think here we go again with another soggy edition. And that's for you, Donna, at Baker's Brews. Check out her channel. It's a wonderful channel. Her kids are adorable, and I love watching her. So, I am gathering up my last 10 tomatoes to get them planted out. Yes, I know it's really late. Hopefully we'll get something from them. We may not, but you'll never know unless you put them in the ground. They have been growing, of course, in the greenhouse, so that counts. I'm going to go in the house and get my coat. I was thinking earlier, I better get my neck fan in case it's too hot, but no, I'll have to be getting my coat. I'm going to be picking raspberries out in the pasture garden again and trying to get 10 of the last tomatoes planted. So wish me luck. I'm sorting through them right now, and I kind of feel a little bit of a sense of panic because this is the last 10 that I can plant out, at least in the pasture garden. So I'm afraid of missing some variety and not getting them in the ground this year. But that is my fault for growing, I don't know how many varieties, I've lost track. Somewhere between 70 and 90. I'll have to count them up again. Next year, I promise, please hold me to this. I am going to pare down how many types of tomatoes I grow, because it does make me slightly crazy. It's a lot of fun, but also very difficult. I make a lot of work for myself. So what I'm going to do is gather up the last 10 and gather up my garden bag, go get my coat, and head out to the pasture garden. The rain is controlling itself for now, and we're getting some things done. I just wanted to show you a before my son mowed this garden and an after. We're going to get on top of these weeds no matter what we have to do, whether the weed fabric is toxic to us or not, because it's either that or not planting anything out here, because it's because it's insane. Wanted to show you my daughter's poppies. She's got a poppy patch here, and boy does it pull in the pollinators. How do you like the little frilled ones? Now I think that's beautiful. Can't wait until this is mown, and my son will be in here any minute to come and do that. The help from our children is just incredible, and we need it so badly. That's how indeterminate tomatoes grow when they're not staked up. They just reach for the ground so they can grow along the ground. Because I haven't gotten out here, this poor tomato, this black crim is looking pretty awful, but I am going to tie it up so it can reach for the sky. Added a tall stake, and then I'm going to tie it up to the tall stake, tie the tall stake up to the cattle panel. I took off several of the suckers and all of the lower leaves to clean it up, keep it away from the ground. Now I have 1, 2, 3 leaders. I want to keep the main leader. Sorry about the noise from the road. And I think this one here, it's hard to tell. Or is it this one here? Okay, we're gonna go with this one. If you try to trace it back down to the main stem. So I'm gonna keep that one and get rid of the other ones. Okay, so here's the finished result. Here's the final result. I took all the leaves off, clear down here, because if you do, it will keep it safe from the bacteria and things that it can get from the water splashing back up on the leaves. And it takes away so much energy to have leaves growing here. It had 3 main leaders. I took all off but one, and this is for a couple of reasons: to keep it under control and tidy, and to put all the energy into the main leader and the fruit that you're going to get from that. So that's my reasoning. I read about it before. That's how I started doing it way back, and it sure works for me. Grass is really high and clumpy, so that doesn't look good. And it's going to rain on us. We've got to finish about 8 more tomatoes. So we're racing against the clock, but it does look a lot better. Clean lines give you more motivation. It just looks tidier, and you just feel like you want to work out here more. Although it needs to be weed eated and all sorts of things. But I've got to get on the stick and plant those tomatoes before it rains on our head. I'm back in this soggy raspberry patch. I have a couple of coats on, 2 hats, and I just look like something out of a funny movie. But I've got to get these beauties picked. I don't want to waste them. I already have 10 sandwich baggies of these raspberries frozen, and it's just going to be a wonderful thing to have this winter. Just wanted to mention that I'm so proud of all of us that have learned to garden. It doesn't go smoothly, it doesn't go without problems, but I'm so glad we've learned some of the old ways, and I really hope we can teach our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren eventually how to be more self-sustainable. Growing your own food, putting food away, just using things that you have. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that we do, and we must never let it die out. We just stopped for a lunch break in the pavilion again. We were hungry and tired and cold. So I went in the house, made hot herbal tea for my daughter and I. My husband had to leave, our son had to leave. So my daughter and I are still out here working. It's kind of raining or spitting, as my dad said, on and off. I wanted to show you this little metal bed that came with the greenhouse over there. I'll put an arrow to show you. It's covered with black shade fabric right now, but it came with that greenhouse. I have pole beans and sunflowers growing here. I have 3 sunflowers, ornamental, that came up. There's 1, 2, and 3. And like I said, these are pole beans. And this was just a little bamboo support of some sort that was holding up, I think, the espalier apple. So I thought I'd repurpose it. It's not that strong. I put some strings up and down it for the pole beans to grow up. So we will see how that turns out. I weeded the bed. Luckily it wasn't very bad, especially out here where we have the weed fabric underneath everything. So there's onions growing there. My daughter has flowers there. There's the 7 rows of tomatoes there, plus 2 rows right there. And we planted the last 10 tomatoes here. Will they all live? I don't know. Some of them are pretty tiny. They were the ones that were not cooperating and growing. So, to be continued. It's a very soggy day, soggy edition, but I would rather have it this way many times over than to have it be 90 and 100 degrees, because I just can't work out in it. So I hope you're having a very productive day, that you've had a great garden tour Saturday. Thanks for stopping in today. I really appreciate it. You have a wonderful day, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.